I'm gonna have to start following you because I was like, I need to follow. I just do it as a hobby, so I'm not gonna be going out as
Hmm.
much, so more. But maybe not. I still goes out.
Have one joining. All right, welcome. Admit. Welcome. I am Ronita. I am a purposeful point and I teach painting. So tonight you can see blood moon. A lot of times I'll paint something and name it after. After I looked at it, I was like, I Googled a blood moon, and so that's what we came up with. That's what it looked like for me. So let's talk about our tools. I'm painting on 11 by 14 canvas paper. She's still not able to. I'm painting on 11 by 14 paper. You can use canvas board, whatever works best for you. Okay. It's your choice. I always encourage my painters to do what works best for them. All right. So we're using the canvas. I'm using paper. It's 11 by 14. And again, you can use any size as well. Uh, Brushes. My favorite are the flat brushes. So this one is a little bit larger, but normally what you can find in the store is a 1 inch brush. I like the flat brushes. I just like the flat brushes, but you can always you use what works for you. Always you can grab also a pointer brush to do your details or whatever. What works best for you. I am using acrylic paints. I'm using a fluid paint, which means it works better. A lot of the tubes are fine as well. The tubes are a little bit thicker, and so it might be more work to kind of work those, which is fine. But I'm using the fluid because I like, especially for class, it covers better. It jumps right in. So my list to make sure I had all my um I talked about all my tools. Brushes, I always have a paper towel to dry my brush, to not dry my brushes, but I use a cup of water to rinse my brush, and I'll grab a paper towel just to dab so the brush is not too wet, just to dab it on my paper towel. Don't dry it off. I want my brush to be wet to move it around, especially since I'm using paper. A lot of times the paper absorbs and drinks it, so I really need it to be moist. Um, and I hope you enjoyed this. So let's go ahead and get started. You are welcome to either mute. You don't have to mute. It's up to you. But if you know you have a lot of background noise, I do ask that you mute. Um, Rachel, you're all right. I don't hear anything in the background, but you know how it sounds when there's a lot of background and you can't hear good. So keep trying to admit Laura, but it's not connecting. There she is. It finally connected. Hey, Laura. Sorry, I pushed it twice to let you in, but it wasn't letting me. For some reason, it still wouldn't enter. But welcome. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And basically, I'm just going to paint my whole background yellow. Like to always. Usually, I like to layer. I love the colors. It helps it look just like Rachel was asking me if I mix colors. Normally mix, I don't mix them on my tray. If I mix them, I mix them on the canvas because I like the texture that it gives as well. And so also, like I said, with the background being yellow, the layering, I love the effects that it gives with the layers. So I'm going to go ahead and paint my whole background yellow. And I encourage you to go ahead and do the same. Or if you want to switch up and do something different, you're welcome to do that. But I'm going to paint the example that I have here on the screen. So we're going to do that yellow first. I don't know, do I need to back up a little bit? There we go. Make sure I have the whole thing, my whole canvas in the picture. actually painted this a while ago, and I showed it to the group, and they was like, oh, that looks like a fall painting. So I saved it, and here we are painting it for, it's not quite the fall, but it's close. But I have so many fun fall paintings that I wanted to do. I can't do them all, but I wanted to save them so that I can do as many as I can. So I said, well, I'll just do this one for September. Now I already have my sessions. Now I don't have a session for next Thursday, but it was I may have a pre-recorded one that I'll put up for Thursday. But the other ones for the rest of the month, they are live. We'll paint live, and those are already posted in Eventbrite or on my Facebook page. And not my Facebook page, but my my website. Once this session is over, I will be posting my website in the description on YouTube. So I'm just painting. There's no rhyme or reason. I just want to get my background covered. So you can see my kind of going in all different directions. Again, we're going to layer. So it's, I don't feel like it'll make a big difference if I'm going in different directions. And we are going to need something round. I use something round. That's how my, wish I could remember what I used that's so round. I did use something to trace to get that perfectly round blood moon. That's why, because we are layering, that middle is going to be covered by a nice red moon. So it's not so pressing that you, a lot of people feel the need to cover and to make the paint even. As you can see, my paint is not even, and it's okay. Again, we're layering. So, you know, it's not so important to go ahead and make everything flat, even, and then we put something on top to layer it. It's not even going to show. So don't be so pressed about that. So now our next color is going to be red. You can go ahead and finish up with your yellow. And I'm trying to think of what I use to make that circle. So if you have something something large that you can trace to get that circle, you're welcome to use that. Or you can freestyle it. I'm not going to freestyle if I can find something. But I just don't remember what it was that I used. Like I said, it was a while ago that I painted this one. I had a lid, but I think that's too big. It's not too big. It can be perfect. You just find something round that works for you. Yes, I'm gonna stick with the lid. It's a little bit bigger than my original painting, but I don't see anything else. And I am going to use a pencil to trace it. So if you have a pencil, you can grab it. I usually don't use a draw or add pencil, but I want my moon to be perfect symmetry. So I'm going to go with that. Now, some of the paintings that I have listed on my website, they do come with a tracer. This one did not come with a tracer because I pretty much freestyled that one. So let's see what we're going to come up with this. Go ahead and just put a light line where you want that moon to be. All right, so we can go ahead and start, put that red paint. You can do red or orange. I believe that when I put that red on there, it kind of gave it an orange glow because the base is yellow. So that's how I don't so much mix it on the palette. It's pretty much more so than I mix it on the canvas. Again, I just love the effects that it gives. And you really don't have to rinse out your brush for jumping in that red. I did all of that to make a perfect circle, and I just went right outside the circle. Going around the outside. The outside, I'm gonna kind of leave the middle. Do some things in the middle. get closer to the middle. I did dip my brush in yellow. So now I have my kind of an orange thing going on here. Now I have still have the red paint in my brush. And we're kind of going in a circular motion because I want my paint strokes to be kind of circular. All of this, we really don't even have to, still don't have to rinse our brushes out. I'm going to even out my circle a little bit, going around the edges with my paint brush with a little bit of red on the sides because I said I kind of went outside the line. So even it's okay if I did. I'm just going to smooth them out, even them out a little bit. Because only I know that I went outside the line. So if at a distance, nobody's going to notice that. Then I want to make sure that I cover up that pencil mark as well. Now I want to switch over to my orange. You guys can see at the bottom, kind of a orange mist. And I don't have to rinse out my brush. I'm sticking with the same colors. Get an orange mist around. The thing about it, it looks kind of monotone right now, but after we throw that black in there, it gives it some contrast. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be a blood moon. It's a little bit different. Now, guys, I don't know if I didn't mention a sponge. The texture that I got in the center, I use the sponge to do that. So, but if you don't have a sponge, you can use a paper towel, a napkin or a paper towel or anything like that. So my sponges, I go to the Dollar Tree and buy regular sponges, dish sponges, whatever you want to call it. And then I just cut them up to the size that I want them to be. And that's how I get my sponges. And again, you can also use a paper towel. You're going to use the paper towel. You're going to take a piece and, like that. You're not going to use the whole paper towel flat and open. We're just going to use pieces just bigger than this. I just use this because this is what I had handy. But you're going to be a little bit bigger than this. But you can see the size of my sponge. You can do a paper towel a little bit bigger than that if need be. And this is going to be a dry sponge. Eventually the sponge will be wet, but I'm not going to worry about wetting the sponge to get started with my design. Now, on my design, I used yellow. So we're going to start with the yellow, see what we get with that. The yellow on top of the red. And it's okay if it blends. Okay. And I'm just going to dab it on there. That's how I got that texture, the texture. I don't know if you can see texture on my original, but that's how I got my texture. Dabbing the paint on there on top of the red, and that because yellow is usually a translucent color. That's also what gives it its mystique. Because the yellow's translucent and the red as underneath it kind of gives it a mystique. Now I'm just dabbing it on there. This is also super relaxing. There are several paintings. I try to do something. Lately, I haven't been doing a lot of different things, but sometimes, we do with the sponges and do different things to do something different with the paintings. And so this is one time with the sponge, of course. And again, just relaxing to create something with just dabbing a sponge onto your canvas. Okay. I'm going to come on with some red as well, but I want to go ahead and get my yellow on there because once I dip my sponge in the red, it's no going back to the yellow. Now you can wash these sponges out after you're done and reuse them. I do that. I mean, I just showed you guys that I went to the Dollar Tree and purchased a sponge and cut it up. So you guys know I'm going to be thrifty and reuse what I can. My popsicle sticks, I mix paint with. After I the paint, I wipe them off and I keep using them until they just can't be used anymore. So just a little bit. It's kind of, just there's no right or wrong way, just kind of whatever you want to do. And again, like there's some areas I'm gonna bring that red right on into the middle to try to, not try, but give it a little bit of ambiance, a little mystique, kind of eerie, blood moon, right? Kind of like that yellow on top of the red. So definitely want to put some on there, top of the red areas, not all over. I still want to see some red, it's just some solid red. Sometimes got to back up a little bit. And what do I see? Is that good for me? Now I'm ready to throw in some red. If you don't want to throw the red in, you don't have to. Because with the yellow already in the sponge, it's going to be, well, mine looks nice and red. I was going to say it may be kind of orangey, but no, mine looks nice and orange. And the moon, with this, it gives it texture so that it doesn't look flat. That's what I want to do. I don't want it to look flat. So with us dabbing that, it gives it texture and it gives it dimension. Now, that red, that's a big blob. I don't know. I have to spread it out a little bit. It's like kind of a blob in the middle. I'm gonna work with that though. Putting some red in some other areas again, so it'll give it texture, doesn't look so. And then we can still also come back on top with some yellow. Just kind of playing around it. This is basically, we're kind of, not my intentions, but it is kind of mixing the paint, just giving it some dimension because I felt like that red was too much in the middle. So now I'm just breaking it up a little bit, adding back in some yellow on top. So that's my mindset. You guys think about what the moon looks like when they go up to in space and they show it. And you'll see it kind of like there's craters and different the texture. And so this is the effect that we're going, and I think we're doing a great job of giving it texture. And it's not round. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not flat. We have definitely given it some texture. Okay. Now, truthfully, you can sit and you could dab all day. You could dab all day with this design. And just think when we do it, sometimes what are we painting? Flowers and stuff like that. So yeah, we can, and we paint with balloons sometimes. We've done the balloon. That's why I'm gonna have to put that in the rotation. It's been a while since we've done a balloon painting. Because I'm definitely abstract. I'm an abstract artist. I have deemed myself abstract. So when you think about painting and you don't feel like it looks like what it's supposed to look like, it's abstract. I love my abstract. All right, I think, I mean, I'm add a little more yellow and then I'm gonna move on. Again, you can just get lost in just dabbing. And it's with the dabbing, the paint's gonna be a little bit heavier. We are gonna paint black on top when we bring up our branches, but black dominates. It's gonna just take over. It's not gonna matter if you blend it. Now, if it was reverse and you had black and you were painting the yellow through the black, then of course you would worry about it dragging through and smearing. But with this, the black will take over. Don't even worry about that part. But okay. So actually, I like this moon better than I do my original. So I'm done. I'm going to put my sponge down. Like that's why I always tell my painters, sometimes you got to know when to put your paintbrush down. So since we're using a sponge, you got to know when to put the sponge down. And now this one actually is a shorter session. We are ready for our finishing touches. And that's our black. So black just, man, that contrast, it really gives it contrast by adding that black. And I don't even have black on my tray yet. All right, so I'm ready to jump in with my black. We're going to go across the bottom with the black. And as you can see, well, this is where I had my, don't worry, look at that down there. It's where I had my, where I hold the paper on. But you can see that it was, we're going to go across with the black, but that black is not straight across, flat and even, okay? We're going to give it some dimension by, but just, I don't want a flat, let me show you. Don't want to see this. See that straight across line? That's not what I want to see. I don't want to see a flat straight across line. Don't want to see that. Don't want to see that, guys. You can start out by going straight across like that. Come up. I want to bring it up, but I don't want to bring, I still want that space between the bottom, the darker area and the moon. But I am gonna kind of bring it up. Doesn't have to be, I don't want it to be flat, guys. And then this side, I'm gonna bring it up, show you guys. I came up around the side again. I not so much on the side for me because my moon is a little bit larger. I didn't leave very much space, but if you do leave some space, if you went big like I did, don't worry about the space. I'm gonna try bring one all the way up. And this I'm still using my big brush. I like to just instead of painting with it horizontal, I take it vertical and use the edge to line. Bring some around here.
Hey, come here.
Right, and we will continue to add some lines. I'm going to go ahead and bring some through the moon.
Yeah, see.
I'm going to put some branches out. Now the ones that are closer to the center, I'm not going to bring those all the way up. And I don't want them to be straight lines either, guys. Make sure you don't have straight lines coming up. And mines are a little bit different than what I have on my example. Again, you know, mine's, this moon ended up being a little bit bigger. So you do what works best for you guys. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. I'm trying to emulate it as much as I can, but do what works for best for you guys. I'm trying to make sure that what as it comes out of the black that's at the bottom, make sure it makes sense. Make sure that it has flow to it to where you can see it kind of curves around there, but I didn't just bring a one just come straight up out of it, and then it doesn't show that it kind of gives it like a peak where it's like larger at the bottom and it gets slimmer at the top. You want that to flow, just like if you had a tree. Most trees, not all, depending on what kind of tree it is, the trunk is a little bit wider at the bottom as it goes up, it kind of gets a little narrower. And I want you to make sure that we're emulating that in the painting. Okay. So I think I have enough branches. You put as much what works for you, put more if you not want more, but don't get carried away. You don't want to bury your moon. You don't want to cover it up. I do think I need some more black in here though. And then like my moon is still not dry, but it's okay because you know the yellow is not going to interfere with what the black is doing. All right, I hope you guys are finishing up with the black branches and not putting too many. Not getting too carried away with them. All right, I want to show you guys some of the upcoming paintings. Again, I believe next week it's going to be a pre-recorded. I've not posted it yet. You know, instead of doing that, I'm not even going to show you in case I don't get a chance to get it put up. So, but we do, yeah, I will get it put up. It just, I don't know when. So let's go with that. I know I did 3 paintings. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is one of the ones that's coming up. And then also the bike. This is that's gonna be the pre-recorded, the pumpkin. The bike is gonna be, trying to pull it up. The bike is gonna be a live one that we do. I guess I really need to tell you guys some dates, but they are posted already on my website as well as on Eventbrite. Again, when you purchase from my website, there will be a tracer for the bike. And I'm going to tell you some dates. All right. So the 19th, we'll be doing the bike on the 19th. And the lighthouse on the 26th. And again, this one also has a tracer if you purchase from my website. You purchase from Eventbrite, they don't have tracers with them. They don't, theirs is set up a little bit different. But I do have a bundle that I'm going to be posting, and this will be included in the bundle, this painting, and these are all pre-recorded as well. This one is in the bundle and it is pre-recorded. And then this one is in the bundle, and this one is also pre-recorded. And yes, this one I'm doing tomorrow in person at my studio. And these all 3 comes with tracers as well. So I'm going to go ahead and end it on Facebook. But if you guys are open to it, normally at the end we do a group photo. So let me go ahead and say thank you. YouTube, I'm sorry, we're going to end it on YouTube. Thank you. And if you guys have any questions, please shoot me email. If you would like to share your painting, I would love to see it. Send that to me in email as well. You could find the link to my website and all these other fall paintings that are coming up. And I hope to see you painting with me real soon. So let me end that.